York City Department of Education has decided that they know what's best for our children. We know that the resources for our children are being redirected to the no-bid contracts. We know that they have stolen quality education from our children here in New York City.
According to the SHOT report, New York City only graduates 28% African American and Latino students.
Racism.
Parents are angry. Teachers are furious. Students are furious. Not that our schools are failing, but that the DOE and the mayor have failed at their jobs.
The Independent Budget Office confirmed what we have been saying for years now, that there is a deliberate policy to concentrate high-need students, students with special needs, English language learners, students who are homeless, students who are living in poverty, to concentrate them in schools in such high numbers that those schools find it more and more impossible to serve all their needs. And when you concentrate those students and you starve those schools of the resources and the supports they need, you have set them up for failure. This policy of mass school closures is a policy that depends upon failure. It's a policy that wants failure.
From experience of being in a school that's supposed to be phased out, it is not a good one. The morale of students is hit hard. Some of the students start to feel that they're not good enough to be in school.
Closing their schools just adds more disruption and more instability to their lives. If the mayor really believed in accountability for performance, he would resign immediately.
It was his intention to close 200 New York City public schools before the end of his term. Get that right. Before he knew one thing about how schools were performing, before there was any assessment of student needs, he had decided that he would close 200 public high schools and elementary schools and middle schools. In order to do that, he changed the way they calculate the school progress reports. So 7% will turn up D's and F's every year, no matter how they perform.
We launched our debate club, our chess team, our choir, our robotics club, and even our partnership with Citigroup that actually mentored and gave internships at headquarters to millions of students, which I was a part of. Majority of these programs were safe spots and gave students the chance to hang out in school and learn. By cutting these programs, most of the students now go out to the streets. My school graduated 50% of the students last year and 70% in the 5-year period. We're not proud of that statistic, but what can you do when you get students who are homeless, they have English, they do not know English as their first language, are overage and undercredited while you are under-resourced?
From co-locations to overcrowding to kindergarten waitlists to increasing class sizes, they are doing everything they can to undermine the health and stability of our neighborhood public schools so they can privatize and put charter schools in their place.
At PS 241, you know what happened to those kids when they came back to school? Did they go to the first floor for their classrooms? Did they go to the second floor for their classrooms? No, siree. They went to the basement. They saw all the charter school kids go up the stairs, go into their newly renovated classrooms. Do we think that's fair? No! This issue is all about segregation.
Yes, it is.
In 1957, and the struggle was to have fair hiring practices in the school system. That's right. In 1962, we were struggling again to have a union in New York. In 1965, we were struggling for fair wages. In 1966, we were struggling for control, community control of schools. And on and on and on. But I tell you, today, this is different. Look around you. Because for the first time, we have the makings of the institution that can stop this corporate juggernaut. As an institution, we can run those people out of City Hall, out of the state capitol, and out of Washington, D.C. We must do this. An injury to one is an injury to all.
We believe the change will come when we get a People's Board of Education. That's right. No longer a Department of Education or Department of Miseducation. We want a People's Board of Education. We want where parents, educators, students, community members have a say in the educational system for our children. We want the invasion of charter schools to be dismantled.
I became a teacher 6 years ago, and I got into teaching. I thought, I'm joining a union. This is going to be amazing. They're going to organize me. They're going to educate me. They're going to mobilize me. And we're going to do the social justice work that I want to do inside and outside of my classroom. It didn't happen. I spent 6 years. I've been 6 years trying to figure out why is this not happening? Why? Where are they? If you're a teacher in the UFT, raise your hand right now. The UFT is the most powerful union in this city. We need to move the union forward. We need to make the union a force for social justice, a force for racial justice and economic justice in our city, in our country. So when you leave tonight, the message, one of the messages, there's been a lot of messages. One message I want you to take. Go back to your school. If you're not a teacher, find a teacher in a school near you. Talk to them about the union. Figure out who the chapter leader is in that school. Make them organize you. Make them educate us. Make them mobilize us, because if the union isn't doing it, it's going to be really hard to get it done. It might be time to start thinking about new leadership in the union. So ladies and gentlemen, take back our union. Thank you very, very, very much for coming out.